Welcome back, everyone. Mimic here. I hope you've been well. I hate not being able to upload or record as much these days. Real life stuff has been getting in the way a bit too much. With that out of the way, I wanted to start a new series of achievements, some of which we've already done if you've seen my previous videos. Mystic Seeker, the meta achievement that rewards a mount, full of puzzles and exploring this beautifully created world. I'm hoping to make the series slightly different, more exploration, scenic views, and some backstory, rather than just, here's a thing, take it here, do a backflip, and there's your achievement. Now that all of that is covered, let's get on with the video, shall we? Our first stop is in the insect-infested wasteland of Silithus. Not only the bugs will mean you harm, but the roaming elementals and the Twilight's hammer inhabiting the area create a hostile environment few like to travel to. The Cenarian Circle, attempting to reconstruct the land to its former glory, is the only solace in this desolate landscape. As we head deeper into Southwind Village, in this night elf building directly to our left, there is a forgotten skeleton. I wonder what it holds. An amulet, and a note along with it that reads, "Even if your watch has to last forever, and I probably won't, just remember me as someone who was your friend for a little while. Okay, Raylo?" Who is Raylo? Well, there is that night elf at the top of the Staghelm Point. Let's see what she knows. We check our way to Staghelm Point and climb to the top of the tower where Rollo Shan, the Eternal Watcher, gazes over the desolate landscape. We speak to her and she says, "Greetings, traveler. It was here, nearly 1,000 years past, that the Karaji began their march of destruction across Kalimdor. Thousands of lives were lost during the war, most in this accursed desert during the initial invasion. I am one of the only few that remain, chained to both the past and the present. I know not why I am to remain stationed here, but I know that I must." "How do you know?" I ask. "I have been slain 100 times. I always wake here, alive. Some say I am cursed, and others—" "What do they say?" "They say I am blessed. A herald, to hearken in a new age." "And what do you say?" "Ancient forces stir, forces that not have been seen or felt for thousands of years. The world weeps, Night Elf. Perhaps a new sundering comes, a sickness born from within. The foulness has begun to sneak into our lands. From the dream comes nightmares, nightmares to be foul in our waking hours. You must have seen much in your time. Can you teach me anything?" "You wish to learn?" "Most would rather dismiss my story as the madness of my isolation. I have spent much time trying to learn the purpose of my watch and the power that enforces it. I have learned little, but I will teach you what I can, for a favor. There was another who came here often once. In time, they faded from my existence, as so much does. They had spoken of a gift back then. They had spoken of many things, but I could offer very little in return. I can only watch, no matter what happens, even as their village was lost and they faded far too soon. If you bring that gift they were never able to give, I may be able to teach you something." "I think I've found it," I responded, handing her the necklace. "Thank you. There are not many who would do this since they faded. Ancient forces will awaken. Great darkness will come to this world. Of that I am certain. I am only a watcher, but perhaps you may be able to save it. I cannot teach you whatever powers chains me here, curse or blessing, but I can tell you what little I have come to understand over it, and the sands of time that ebb back and forth. I know you have your own purpose in this world. I will not ask for you to return. Perhaps it is for the best, as you too will fade one day, as all things do, but you may face well against the coming darkness." We watch with her for a moment, before leaving to our next achievement. Shattrath, literally meaning City of Light, is one of the major hubs in the game. A former Naru temple, it is inhabited by many peoples. The Scryers, primarily composed of formerly hostile Blood Elves, and the Aldor, comprised of Draenei priests. The Shattrath control the city, worshipping a doll who sits in the middle of the city. The lower tiers faction is called the Lower City, made up of Broken Ones, Ogres, Ethereals, Arakoa, and many others. Heading to the northeast part of the Lower City, there is an orphanage. Speaking to the matron of the orphanage, she says, "Hello, what business brings you here?" "This is an orphanage for the children of Outland who have lost their parents and have no one else to look after them. Perhaps you are here because you are considering adoption?" Enticing as that sounds, I just want to make a donation. I proceed to donate 15 out of my 19 gold to the orphanage to let it run another day. She responds by saying, "You're really sure? I don't know what to say. This is very generous. Thank you. It may not seem like a lot to you, but for most of us, an amount like this makes more of a difference than you can imagine. You remind me of that crusader who came through a while back. Urel, I think she said her name was. She made a similar donation as well. I'm not sure I would have been able to keep the orphanage running if it wasn't for her. Thank you again. You also receive a buff called Benevolence for your good deeds." That name, Urel, sounds awfully familiar. I've seen her in the city before. But where? After searching the city for this Draenei, she's on top of the bridge near the orphanage, watching over it like a protector. I sit next to her, and hope she can guide me to be as enlightened as her. I speak to her, and she says, "The light is with me. It is with all of us. Even when you watch your home shattered to pieces, and it's hard to see the light, you must have hope." It gave me a second chance when I was prepared to sacrifice my life so my people could escape. So even if this broken land is all that's left of the place I once called home, I do not plan to waste that chance. I expected no less than a child of light such as herself. I ask her if she can teach me anything, and she responds, "The light has shown me of your actions. You were kind to the helpless children of this world when it did nothing but cost you. In truth, I cannot teach you. This is not mine to teach, but the light favors your benevolence. Of that I am certain. Let's sit, wait, and hopefully we can learn more before we move on to our next achievement." Our final stop in today's video is in the northern eastern kingdoms, the Eastern Plaguelands. Undead, rot, corruption. All words encapsulating the feeling this zone gives me. Between the hordes of undead beings walking the land and the Scarlet Crusade looming in the distance, this zone's dark and mysterious tone is not for the faint of heart. In the northern part of the zone is the once great city of Shattrath, where the Order of the Silver Hand was founded, but now is the scourge capital of Lordaeron, a shadow of its former glory. In the southeast lies Tyr's Hand, a bastion town for the Scarlet Crusade to concoct their morally grey deeds. But where there is dark, there is light. In the eastern part of the zone is where Azeroth's great line of defense against the Scourge invasions wait, the Argent Dawn and the Brotherhood of Light, at Light's Hope Chapel. Walking into the chapel, we see 3 Brotherhood of Light members talking to 2 emissaries from the Scarlet Crusade about the Scourge and what can be done. I attempt to talk to Father Inigo Montoy, and he says, "The Lich King is attempting to make his presence known in our world. This must not be allowed to occur." He is right, and I ask for Father's blessing, and he responds, "The light will answer the call of any who ask, but you should not rely on others to pray to it for you. Go seek out the light in the darkest, most pestilent places. Be quick and fearless, and you will have your blessing." Well, that could mean anything, Father. Well, let's get to looking, I guess. In the Pestilence Guard nearby, there is a broken down caravan in this location. Right-click the Blessing of Light and reap the rewards of your achievement. That's 3 achievements for Mystic Seeker. This video has been finished for a while now. I've just been distracted with Path of Exile, if I'm being honest. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you again soon.